I'm Matthew Janisse, and I'll be playing Billy Bigelow in Carousel.
Start out a little bit telling about yourself, where you're from, where you're going to school.
I am from Miami. I go to school at Florida State University.
How did you end up here at the Wagon, way up north?
Well, three people had worked here before. Hillary Smith 2 summers ago, and then last season Stephen Anthony and Max Chucker worked here, but all from Florida State University, and Scott really liked the work they did, so they convinced him to come down to Florida State to hold an audition. So because he came down, I was able to audition for him at our school while he did a workshop there on dancing and about summer stocks in general. So I was able to audition him there. He filmed me, brought it back here, and that's how I got the job.
Okay. So this is your first summer, and this will be your second show, because you were
I was in Peter Pan, I was in Legally Blonde, and now
your third show.
Third show.
Yes.
Third.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your character and who he is and how he fits into the whole show of Carousel.
Well, Carousel is about Billy and Julie's love, and it's all about this man who's boastful and prideful. He's a barker of the carousel from Coney Island, New York, so he's very New York outspoken, bold, and brassy, and it's all about him allowing himself to feel love, for a real love, for a connection, before he would just, girls are no thing, just an object, no one to get close to him, and then he finds this woman, Julie Jordan, who's played by Annie Yoakum, and then it's him discovering that he loves her, and then you find out that he has a baby. Then it becomes a story of he'll do anything to find his baby. It's all about redeeming his less appealing qualities and finding true love.
I heard the show is kind of dark. Or is that true? Not true?
That's true. It's dark. There's a lot of topics unspoken, but there's definitely read between the line moments, and in it there's a huge talk about Billy beats Julie, and then it's all the definition of beating. In the story, he hits her, and through my perspective as Billy Bigelow, he only hit her once, not like mercifully beating. So it's that you have to redeem someone who hit his wife. So that's where it's dark. The protagonist is someone who's sort of a mean guy.
Yeah. So is this your first time playing kind of a dark character, or?
Yeah, that's sort of dark. Of course, I look at him as light. His circumstances are dark, but as an actor, I go, oh no, this part is relatable. But this is the darkest, and this is my first classical musical theater show.
What kind of shows are you used to?
Before, I've done a lot of poppy and rocky show. I was Roger in Rent, Jerry in Full Monty, these sort of everyday guys who are sort of on the verge of slackery, but never evil, never dark, never beating anyone. Or
kind of like your role in Legally Blonde, where Emmett was kind of...
Yeah, Emmett's just a nice guy, didn't really do anything. Emmett's the nicest role I probably played. He was just me.
Yeah.
Just standing around.
Okay, cool. Oh, now, talk a little bit of the music in the show. Is there particular songs you like? Do you like the whole... what about the music?
The music is absolutely beautiful. There's... in addition to all these amazing songs, there are, I think it's 17 minutes of dance, and there's a 10-minute ballet in Act 2 that is just silence, and all it is orchestra and movement. And Rodgers and Hammerstein's orchestrations are just beautiful, and they just tell the story without even words. And Tony, our director, always wants to bring out the fact that these music and these songs have all these luxurious underscoring, and you really learn how to use them all. Even if you're not singing a line, there's still this amazing underscoring that you get to use. And there's a song every second, not as much as Legally Blonde, which was song after song after song, but there are these beautiful 8-minute songs. I feel like there are 3 8-minute songs in this show, and they're just great.
Is there one in particular that you like to belt out, or?
Yeah, I have, at the end of Act 1, Billy finds out that Julie's pregnant, and he has an 8-minute song going through the trials and tribulations of accepting the fact that he has a child. He's boasting about how he has a son, and it's 4 minutes of him being like, oh, when I have a son, I'll do this and this and this, and oh, I'm not going to let him get mixed up in this. And then he has this realization, oh, it could be a daughter. So it's sort of 2 songs about his fantasy about having a boy and then his fantasy having a girl. And it's beautiful music, and it's very boisterous, and it's the closer to Act 1.
Well, 8 minutes seems like a long time for a song, though.
It is. Luckily, Chip on the Shoulder was also 8 minutes, not the same 8 minutes.
No.
That was broken out. But before I got here, I was a little worried. 8 minutes of singing and acting on stage by myself. But now getting here and doing it, it's okay. Sometimes I forget how long I've been singing at the end.
Yeah.
I get done and I'm realizing, wait, I just sang for 8 minutes straight.
Well, talk about some of the other characters in this show. I mean, kind of expand on them and how they relate to your character.
Well, Billy and Julie are the main sort of couple, but then you have this side couple that sort of reflects the relationship between Billy and Julie, and that's Carrie Pipperidge and Enoch Snow. Enoch Snow is a very prim and proper, everything organized, sees the future, is planning. He has this wonderful idea of starting a sardine cannery factory, and he's this good, wholesome man who means nothing, sort of plain and boring. He smells of fish, but he has all the love, and he's sort of I will provide for you, I will provide for my wife by doing this, this, and this, and I want to get married in a church. And he is the complete opposite of Billy, who is sort of wild and not reserved, undignified, and he comes as pseudo the comic relief. He's very funny. He's not like a clown, but the way he holds himself and how he's so proper and dignified, it gets him into some funny things.
Okay. So, would you say this show is geared towards families, or maybe more teens, kind of, or how would you?
I feel it'll appeal to a wide range of audience. As a young actor, I always looked at theater as appealing to any young people, but there are a lot of adult. It's a kid show, but there are a lot of adult themes, of sort of true love and under having insecurities with all that. It's not profane or rude in any sense. Children would love it, and I believe they'll enjoy it. But it has a dark edge to it, which makes me feel an older crowd will really appreciate it. And Roger Hammerstein's stuff is so beautiful that anyone would love it.
Well, you mentioned Tony a little bit. What's it like working for Tony as a director?
It's great. He's worked here for 20 seasons, so he has a mastery of working in the round. And for an actor who's never worked on the round, doing all these movements where you have to circle and just feels unnatural. But he has a very nurturing way of getting you to by explaining what we're doing, the circles and what they mean, and how you can maximize every movement you do, taking every beat from circling left to right instead of just walking side to side like a crab.
Yeah.
And he's concerned about the art, which is great. And he's only here for one show, so he doesn't have to worry about the theater or anything else. So he really dives in, but he also cares about us as actors and our process, and he knows we're still in college. But while not treating us like students, we still are getting so much out of him, and he's such a pleasure to work with.
Yeah. What are some of the things you are learning from him? I mean, you said this is your first time theater in the round.
Yes,
so.
The concept of showing more of the character in proscenium, which I've only worked in, it's sort of, and especially with Billy, he has a lot of layers. You want to play, if other people are watching him, you want to play I don't care, I'm being strong because this person's looking at it. But with the opportunities in the round, when I face away, I have this entire section to let them into how I'm actually feeling. So it flavors the part with lovely pieces of insecurity and inner monologue while still having the bravado over here. So every chance you have is a chance to act. If my back's to the audience, it's facing someone else.
Yeah.
So they all get the richness of the part.
So it's like two characters at once, kind of?
Yeah, you get to flush them out more, rather than just saying, oh, he's this arrogant, boisterous boy. You see him turn away from Julie Jordan, who scares him to death for being in love, and you see that insecurity and and how he's afraid, and then you understand where he's coming from for being so scared and boisterous.
Well, have you ever been in a position like Billy's where you're scared and have this going on? Any things in your life that you can relate to Billy?
Yeah, I think in a way, his story is every love story. When you first really try and love someone, it's frightening, especially if you've been burned in the past. And Billy is definitely a person who, in his past life, has had many girls who have maybe only used him for certain activities. And Julie is the first one who comes and breaks the script. And I mean, I personally have had that where I'm, trying to have young love and being scared of what's real or not. Of course, not as violent as Billy, but...
Anything else about this show you'd want people to know or be aware of, to watch for? Or?
To watch for, it's really, and Tony says this all the time, it really is beautifully cast, from Julie Jordan all the way to Cabin Boy number 5. Everyone just brings something amazing to it. We have Jigger Cragen, who's played by Javier. I'm awful with last names. But he is this dirty, rotten sailor who's sort of Billy's antagonist, who pushes him around, and he's hysterical and evil and so hilarious. And then we have Nettie Fowler, who's played by Kira Lace Hawkins. There we go. And she has the most amazing legit voice, and she was just Paulette. So it's going to be a real treat for subscribers to see her as the hilarious Paulette, with timing to be this really maternal figure with a completely different style of voice, from going to belt to a more legit classical voice. And she's amazing. She's super good.
So after this show, it runs July 4th through the 14th?
Mm-hmm.
What, are you here for the rest of the season? Or?
I'm here for Chicago. Going to be a dancer in that, or ensemble member. So, and then I'm leaving it before this play, and I love the piano.
Okay, cool. So, the first season at Wagon Wheels, what do you think of working at the Wagon Wheel?
Oh, it's amazing. This is also my first summer stock, so I feel like I'm getting spoiled.
Okay.
Because with Scott Michaels working, I loved working with Scott Michaels. I'm very excited to work with him again in Chicago. And to get 2 different directors and one scene working in the round, doing these amazing shows, and the concept of a company, being a dog in Peter Pan, then going to Emmett, and then going to Billy, all these different parts I get to play. And then in Chicago, it'll be someone else's turn to shine. It'll be David Schlump, who was here last season, and Hillary Smith and Erica, horrible last names, but it'll be theirs, so now we'll be supporting them. Hillary Smith, who is just an ensemble here, and in the next show, it will be reversed. She'll be the lead, and I'll be the ensemble, and it'll be my turn to give to her. And it's such a family. Everyone's together. The boys' dressing room is one club. The girls' dressing room is one club. It's just very warm and welcoming and full of art and creativity.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.